We're here at the Marulan Driver Training Centre this morning, beautiful sunny morning, to look at the two 08 WRX and the 09 WRX. This centre enables us to do some safe driving. We're trying to evaluate here with Cody and Dean, our expert rally drivers, the differences in the setup of the suspension in particular on this circuit out here, and also to gauge the level of torque and power performance on a circuit. Dino, take us through the lap again.
This is a long corner that tightens up, so it's quite hard. We sort of could hold third gear here actually in the 09 car because you felt like you had the confidence with the turn. It was a more accurate turn in. And then as we'd hold third back to second, and this is probably the corner that I really noticed the power difference between the two cars, because as this corner tightens up, it's slightly uphill, so you're really asking a lot more of the car. As we shot across the top, the 09 obviously just felt like it had a lot more power to come across the crest with.
Yep.
Here's where we sort of had a bit of a transition. You're sort of lightly on the brake, holding third through here. As we turn in, trying to keep the same speed. I think one of the things was going from the 09 car first, then 08, you could really feel a difference that the 09 held that line quite nicely, had good feel through the wheel, and the 08 car actually was struggling with a bit of understeer there. So a lot sort of a crisper, solid feel from the 09 car.
And this corner here is fairly sharp.
Yeah, this is probably the hardest corner on tyres actually, because it tightens up quite a bit. It's very abrasive, and we're trying to power through to get a really good run down the straight. And I think you'd find the tyres actually made a difference. The change in tyre that we've got for the 09 car, you could feel grip a lot better and grip up even if you went in a little bit hot. Right. You could sort of put a bit more turn in, and you got the response back from the tyre where the 08 would just sort of create that understeer, and you'd have to come out of the power. Therefore, it's almost affecting our speed along the straight.
So how does the steering feel then?
For me, the new car, very direct, and one of the things, this is a very bumpy track, probably one of the bumpiest sort of road tracks that we've ever been on. Yeah, and from that point of view, the harshness is not through the wheel. Sometimes from our point of view, when you're really compressed on one side through a corner and there's a mid-corner bump, you sort of feel a bit of almost like what feels to a driver like a traction point of view.
Yeah, what happens there is, particularly on those bumps in corners, when you've got some angle on the wheel and you hit a bump, then you get the side impact force from that bump hitting the wheel. That sends a shock wave through the steering mechanism up into the hydraulic system, which is our power steering system. And what they've done to try to dampen out that pulsation, which is what you're actually feeling through the steering wheel, is a new damper valve that basically dampens out that pressure surge through the hydraulic system. So then you're not actually feeling it. It's still happening on the wheel, but you're not feeling it through the steering wheel. It's not coming back to you. Probably you're still getting some of that, because you need to know what the road surface is like and what's happening to the car. So you'll feel a little bit of it, but it's not sort of wrenching the steering wheel out of your hand.
Feel like it's changing direction.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's obviously what I'm feeling from a driving point of view, a lot smoother. I'm actually noticing also a change is not just to the springs, but to the dampening effect of the suspension has helped. Just from the way the nose would dip under brakes in particular. Here, because it's like quite hard on the brakes as you are sort of on any racetrack, and I'm noticing the front it's not diving anywhere near as much on the 09 car. We seem to sort of, from a driver point of view, feels more stable, and I think some of the directness is then sort of, you're getting some of that from when you're through the corner.
What's happening there is that the springs have been stiffened up quite considerably, and then combine that with a retuning of the dampers. So particularly on the front, the rebound damping rate has been increased. So when we go around this corner here now, that front inside wheel is lifting, and that increased rebound is holding the wheel down or holding the body down, stopping it from lifting as we go in the corner.
Which you can see from the outside as well.
Yeah,
When you're
absolutely.
watching Cody's, they can really see that visibly.
Yeah. So it's trying to keep the car a little flatter on the road than before.
Yeah.
But still, and same with the 08 car, trying to maintain the contact between tyre and the road, because you lose that, and as you well know, more better than anybody, you lose control. So that's the idea.
When you're driving a little bit quicker than we are obviously now, what you find is in the initial turn-in to the corner, the 09 car just has a little bit more sharpness. And immediately, as soon as you take off, you'll feel that obviously there's better throttle response, and probably in the mid to high range RPM, and just that bit of better acceleration.
Car sit a little bit flatter going into the corner.
Yeah, and you can feel that there's a bit more firmness straight away as well. Even at this speed, you can feel that there's a slight bit more firmness there. And then obviously less body roll as you're turning into corners. Quite a rigid feel to the car from the 08 car.
So what they've done is to increase the spring rates, front and rear. So your spring rates on the front are up about 40%.
You can feel that straight away as well.
And torque, power, it's fairly flat.
Yeah, you feel it seems to come on quite quickly. That immediate response you've got, and that's what talking in the higher rev ranges as we're sort of pushing on around the track in a faster situation. As soon as you get on that throttle, you feel that real urge is a really crisp response to the car. So we can cruise comfortably around here in third or fourth gear at sort of 2,000 RPM.
But like if we were driving around town now, sort of pooping around town, it's not necessary to downshift. You can pull away okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Second gear now, we're sort of doing 30 kilometres an hour and then accelerating away in quite quickly up to 5,000 RPM, even down at 2,500, 3,000 RPM. So in the race situation, or in the driving that we've been doing and setting some lap times, is actually at the higher RPM. Obviously, to get that little bit extra horsepower and that sort of thing up high, which is where we use the revs to try and get that to achieve our faster times. But obviously, it's no less drivable down at lower revs like we are now.